Joining us now from Fort Hood is Private Joseph Foster, who was shot in the hip during the rampage, and Dr. Stephen Beckwith, who was one of the first on the scene. Gentlemen, good morning. Thanks for taking the time this morning.
Good morning, ma'am.
Private Foster, let me begin with you. How are your injuries doing?
It's getting better.
What was the extent of your injuries?
The bullet just went in, hit my femur, and bounced right back out. Just a pretty good hole.
Wow. Describe that moment for me. What do you remember about the moment that you were shot?
Kind of scared. It was only one word to really describe it: terrifying.
Terrifying. There are reports that Major Hassan shouted, "God is great" in Arabic as he opened fire. Did you hear him say anything?
Yes, he did stand up. When he got up, he did yell in Arabic. He hopped up and stated Allah Akbar,
which means God is great. As we're learning more about this investigation, what are your feelings about possible ties to terrorism and warning signs that were ignored?
I have full faith in my Army and my family. I think if there was anything that could have been done, it would have been done.
Dr. Beckwith, let me bring you in. You were one of the first on the scene treating the wounded. What image keeps replaying in your mind?
I think the first thing that really stood out to me was what soldiers were doing really for themselves and for their buddies on the scene. A lot of the guys were coming in with makeshift bandages, makeshift stretchers and whatnot, and that's just fantastic to see. I remember at least one or two soldiers, with gunshot wounds to the leg, who kind of waved me away and said, "Hey, see this guy first. He's got shots here, here, and here." I think that's just fantastic to see that kind of composure out of our kids out there.
You're talking about the best things that you saw. What were the worst?
I think most of us commented that the number of patients was, more than most of us had seen at one time. I think a number of us had been downrange and seen mass casualty type events, but certainly not this many gunshot wounds at one time. So certainly dealing with the volume was difficult, but I think we put a pretty good response together. I'm pretty proud of the EMS guys out there at the scene, folks at the hospital, and really grateful for the support we had from some of the surrounding EMS agencies and surrounding hospitals. They were just fantastic in getting our response together.
In the last seconds, let me ask you, Doctor, do you think that the Army should be held accountable if it turns out that Major Hassan did have ties to terrorism and they ignored all these warning signs?
Those things are tough to sort out. It's hard to crawl into someone's head and figure out what their motives are. Right now we're really more just focused on taking care of these guys and kind of getting forward from here.
Well, I commend you for that. Thank you so much, Dr. Stephen Beckwith, Private Joseph Foster. Thank you as well.
Thanks. You're welcome, man.